Hi, my name is Bob and welcome to the homestead, y'all. Well, in this video, we're installing a wireless bridge from our house to our daughter and son-in-law's house, 300 yards in that direction. Okay, let's open this box up and see what's inside of it. This is what comes with it. Smart PoE switch. So you get a switch, the manual. Okay, just set that aside. And these should be our plug-ins. Yep, power over Ethernet. Yep, and there's your PoE and your LAN. You can see that PoE and LAN, so those are both marked. So we'll stick him back in there. There's two of those, one for each side. And the UV bridge. This is the wireless bridge. And we will put a discount code in the description. You can see there's the model number, CPE 454GSW. Okay, and then this is the manual that takes you step by step through installing it and doing your software, but we will show you all that. And then these. Two of these. So you can see both of them in there. And that's your signal strength on the side. And then we'll pop this cover and show you the switches underneath. Let me slide this out. There we go. Okay. So there's your switches inside. This is where we'll plug our landlines and PoE in, and then this is the channel. We'll set the channel the same on each end, and once we do that and have power, we'll be able to look at our signal strength. So that's everything that comes in the box. Comes in a nice neat little box, and I can't wait to get started on this. This is going to be a good test. We're going to be going about 300 yards, and I'll show you that here in just a minute. They have two little cables, two hose clamps, so I will have to get a mounting bracket to mount this to, and I have some of those, so I'll get those and we'll get them mounted. I'll show you how far we're going to be using this wireless bridge to connect two home networks. Okay, just wanted to show you this real quick. How you can set this up. This is the master bridge mode. You can set it up there. You can do a slave bridge mode. And then point to multi-point extended camera mounting range. So you can see you can do a slave bridge, a master bridge, slave bridge, and master bridge. So those are different configurations I show you. Of course, we're just going to connect our home network to my daughter and son-in-law's home network. Okay, there's a couple things I just discovered, and I want to show you real quick with this. To me, it's a kind of a design flaw, but there's a little tab. This is how you get the cover off. As you bend that tab down, well, when you slide this cover on, it don't pop back up. You have to take your finger and pop it back into place. Okay, that's one thing. Now, the next thing I want to show you is where the ports are. So if we plug our cable in and you're trying to push this on, the cable, the port is on this side, the slot is on this side. So you're having to push the cable over the whole time you're trying to get this in. And trying to do that on a ladder is really pretty difficult. One thing I did do, there we go, is I put a little bend in my cat cable on the one I've already done. I'll show you that in just a minute. But once you get it in, then you have to lock that in place. Now once you do that, it's locked in place pretty well. As you can see, having that port on the bottom side down here instead of up here makes it just a little more difficult. But what you have to do is just put a little bend in this cat and that cat cable, and you can get that in there. Just something that we noticed when we're installing these that makes it just a little bit more difficult. We're installing the uveeii CPE 545 GSW. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is mount your transmitters and receivers. I just made a pole for ours. Now you can buy a bracket kit. I just took a piece of 3/4 inch conduit and bent it and put a little bracket down here and mounted it, and then pointed the receiver, which this is the receiver side. We're going to be transmitting from the other side from our daughter and son-in-law's house, and so this one is the receiver side, and it is set on B, and I'll show you that here in just a minute. We'll pull the little cover off, but I will show you underneath. Okay, right here is a little selector switch, and you want your transmitter on A and your receiver on B. This is LAN 1, LAN 2, and this is your channel. So when we put power to this, there'll be a light and a channel right there. And then this other side, there's a hole so you can use a 12-volt power supply if you'd like. Okay, just want to show you real quick. This one's on selector A. So that means it is the transmitter. So now we'll plug this into LAN 1. So these are just a switch on the transmitting side. So we got it plugged in right there on the transmitting side. So now let's go back to our house. After you have your transmitter and receiver mounted, however you're going to mount it, you can mount it any way you want. There's several ways to do it. I really won't get into that in this video. You need to mount and plug in your smart PoE switch, and that's what this little box is. This is my router. This was my existing router. So they send this nice little power over Ethernet switch. It's a nice little switch. I couldn't believe it when I opened the box and they supplied this. You know, normally when you get these things, you get these little transformers, and they have the PoE and the landline in the bottom of them here. And I'll show you this here in a few minutes. We'll go over this in case you want to use this. But I like the switch. We already have a wireless bridge here on the homestead, so I was able to plug the wireless bridge, my existing one, right into the little smart PoE switch that they sent. So that is a nice feature. That really impresses me that they send that with this system. Of course, they send 2 of these too, so you can use those if you don't want to use the smart switch. And I'm going to get into that a little bit. There's a little bit different setup if you're going to use the switch compared to the little transformers, the power over Ethernet transformers. But all you have to do is, once you get your switch plugged in, you run one wire from your switch, from your LAN port, to the back of your router. Okay, and you plug it in, and then this is the wire coming from our transmitter. Now, I had to make my own cable. My son-in-law has the tools to do it, so we were able to make a custom cable because I'm going 25 feet from where my router and where my switch is for my transformer. So if you don't have a place close to your router or your switch, then you're going to have to either make a custom cable or measure the distance and order you a cable that you need. So it's real simple. You just plug it in, plug the existing cord that comes with this. This is this white cord. It came with this smart switch into your router.
and then you turn the power on. So I'm going to turn the power on and I'll show you what's going on. Okay, now that I have the power on, you can see we have a green light and an amber light here going to the Linksys router, and then we have a green light and an amber light coming off our cable from our receiver. Okay, now we have a Linksys router. Depending on what type router you have, you may have to go into your router setup and adjust it a little bit, and it takes you step by step in here how to do it. We did not have to do that. The Linksys router picked right up on it to transfer Wi-Fi. Now, we're using this for a unique situation. Not only are we transferring Wi-Fi, but we're transferring data from our son-in-law's house to our house. And I'll take you inside and I'll show you on the TV what we're doing. We can share music, we can share videos straight through the Wi-Fi from their house to our house. So this was a little bit more unique setup than you would normally have just transferring Wi-Fi. But now that we have everything plugged in here, let's go outside and I'm going to show you what it looks like on the transmitter, what you should have. Okay, so let's look at our signal strength here. Of course, this is maximum strength. This is your power. LAN 1, LAN 2. Power, LAN 1, LAN 2. And then this is your signal strength. You can see we have full strength on this. This is impressive. Like I said, it is way over there. Of course, it's straight line of sight, but the receiver's at the top of their roof line right over there. So to get full strength at 300 yards, now these say they can go 3 miles, which I don't have anything to test it, but this has been an impressive product so far. I'll talk a little bit more about that here in just a minute, some of the bonuses that I figured out with this thing. So let's look up underneath here first. Okay, this is your reset button, LAN 1. This is the channel, LAN 2, and then you can put a 12-volt power supply right there on that side if you want. This is your AB selector, okay? This one is set on B because it's the slave. The one we put over there on my daughter and son-in-law's house is on A. So whichever one you're transmitting for is on A, and the one you're receiving is on B. And it tells all that right here in the back. It tells a little bit of that, and then in your instruction booklet it tells. Now, one thing I want to talk about. If you're using the PoE switch that comes with these, you know, the little box I just showed you, then you need to plug your network cable in on LAN 2. Now, if you're using these little boxes, you know, with the power over Ethernet and the LAN, then you would plug it in to LAN 1. Okay? That's one thing we figured out, that using the switch, we need to put it on LAN 2, and using the power over Ethernet transformer that they send, then you would put it on LAN 1. Now, it does tell that in the user manual. Let me get down off the ladder here. Okay, this has a great user manual, by the way, but it's talking about in the user manual, under the quick start guide, page 6, it tells right here, let me get the winds blowing out here, it tells right here, note, LAN 1 supports non-standard 24 volt to 48 volt PoE power supply. LAN 2 supports non-standard 24 volt PoE and standard IEEE 802.3 AF AT 48 volt PoE power supply. Connect to PoE switch. Okay, so you won't use this
If you don't use this and you use the switch, then you need to be in LAN 2. If you do use this transformer for your power over Ethernet and LAN, you would be LAN 1. I hope that explains it pretty well. Okay, this thing has so many features. It's amazing. This is one that I just figured out. I'm gonna shut my mobile data off here. I don't know if you can see it. I just shut my mobile data off, and yes, I'm gonna turn it off. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is go to my Wi-Fi connections, and I am going to connect to just the transmitter here. Okay, I've got to get the password. Now to find the password to the transmitter, you just go on page 11. Now this line here says LED. Ours is on 7. So this is going to be the password for it. Over here on this line it says password. Depending on what your LED number yours is set on or what letter, you will have to match the password. So Q-Link, CPE 1 2 3 4 5 6, and then on number 7 right here 128 is the last 3. Okay, I have that entered. I'm going to connect. Okay, now it's connecting to it, and I am outside. Oh, okay, I don't know if you can see on here, but I am connected to it, and it's called 5G CPE 5G 128. Okay, so I am outside, and I'm gonna walk out here about 100 yards away and show you this. This was something that we discovered when we were setting it up, but I didn't read anywhere in the manual about it. But we're going to go to speedtest.com, and we're going to run a speed test and see how fast this is. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna hit go. And let's see how fast it is. It's showing 53, 54. I don't know if that's focused in, it's hard for me to tell. Out here in the sun. Okay, it shows 57.41 megabytes per second. 57.41. There you go, you can see it now. Okay, and we're about 100 yards away from the house over there. So what that means is, between my daughter and son-in-law's house and our house, we have Wi-Fi. So I have walked the whole way. I've walked between our house and their house, and I had Wi-Fi the whole way. Now that's impressive. That really is pretty sweet. When we ran our speed tests yesterday, over at their house, they were running right around 55 to 57 meg. And over here, I was running 55 to 57 meg. So that is impressive. And today, I've tested this several times. I've walked all the way from our house to their house and stopped along the way and did speed test with my phone. And it's testing around 55 to 57 meg. And that's what it is at their house. So
that is impressive. Now, I told you we wanted to transfer not only Wi-Fi from their house to our house, which we both have internet right now, but we're fixing to drop ours and just use theirs. And so we still want to be able to use the Wi-Fi, have access to the internet, but we want to be able to transfer music back and forth, and we want to be able to transfer video. So let's go in the house, we'll turn the TV on, and I'll show you how well it does transferring video. Now we use MB on our server. We have a server set up that we put our music on, and we've been uploading what movies, DVDs we have to it. So I want to show you here once we connect to it. Let's just go to TV shows that we've uploaded. I'll select the first one, hit play.
Season 3 of 13 Reasons Why. If you've been watching, you know our show portrays a number of real.
Okay, this is streaming this from their house and the server at their house to our house. So that's pretty sweet. It works well. We've been running several tests on it, and I can just go to the next one, and you can see it's playing fine. This works great. Does exactly what we want it to. Then we can go back and we have videos of our grandkids that our daughters uploaded. We can watch those. Okay, so bottom line, uveeii CPE is a great product. Other than the one design flaw that I showed you as far as the cover goes, that's the only thing that I can even say bad about this. That's the only con this whole setup has. They sent you the PoE switch. That's, you know, if you were to order one of those, depending on the brand, you know, you could spend anywhere from $50 on up, depending on how many ports that you want on it. So that was a nice feature that I wasn't expecting. The Wi-Fi between here and our daughter's house and son-in-law's house, that was unexpected, so that is a bonus. And I've went 50 degrees this way, 50 degrees that way, and we have Wi-Fi the whole way. I can walk out anywhere in the field up to our driveway and anywhere in between in the orchard, and we have a Wi-Fi signal. So that's very impressive. The setup is easy as usual. Most of these point-to-point wireless bridges are very easy to set up. But if you have any questions or if you have any trouble with your setup on it, shoot me, drop it down there in the questions below. Leave a comment, and I'll do my best to help you. Their manual is excellent. They have an excellent manual, takes you step by step on what to do, and it does take you through on your routers if you want to set them up. It takes you through on your wireless cameras and your wired cameras too. So if you want to put cameras all the way around your house, your garage, your barn, your shop, you can monitor those and they will stream that video no problem. I haven't found any issues with streaming data yet. Now, we're going to be using this every day. We will use this every day. So if I run into any problems with video or any kind of data speed problems, I'll make a new video and I'll drop it in and let you know. But as far as I'm concerned, these are the berries. This is great if you have a barn, a garage, a shop, or another house that you want to send a Wi-Fi signal back and forth, a data signal of some kind, a video signal. I would highly recommend these. They're reasonably priced. I'll put a link in the description to them on Amazon, and I just can't say enough good things about them. One thing I do want to mention, uveeii did contact me, and they did send this for free. That's not the reason I'm giving them a great review. I'm giving them a great review because they have a great product. 5 stars, no complaints other than the one complaint. as far as the bottom cover goes right here, and I showed you that earlier in the video. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below, and thanks for watching.